Hi guys, while I am waiting for one of the cloud optimizations for my coding project to be done, I decided to tell you the origin story, why I actually started and how I actually started traveling the world like 100% of the year basically in the last years. And it all started when actually I was just a kid. I already knew that I wanted to travel the world and that I just want to be able to, like, it was the picture in my head, to just work on something, because at an early age I love numbers, mathematics, and just work, create something while I am watching the waves at the beach. I'm just chilling in a hammock and I have cold drinks and stuff, and I don't have to live in the cold winters of the northern countries. And as you can see, my beard, my hair color, I am from a northern country and I hated winter all my life, so I always wanted to break out. And it actually started when I got Lyme disease. And the situation was that I already applied to go to university and learn mathematics because I loved it. And I thought I am going to do that, I am going to learn programming, and then eventually I am going to have the ability to work from anywhere in the world. But it happened that I got Lyme disease, and it was a very late stage when I realized it. I had joint pains all over my body at like before I was 20 years old, so I was not old. And I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk to school, to my work, and I couldn't even lift my milk at that point. And every doctor who I went to said, no, it's nothing, you don't have any problem. And I told myself, they don't know what kind of disease I have. I'm going to live my life like this in pain every day. And I was so upset. But one of my relatives supported me to go to a specialist that cost a lot of money. And I am thankful for that since then, because that specialist told me to go and check if it's Lyme disease. He just had like a thought out of nowhere. He said it like, it is not very likely, it is not very likely, but there is a slight chance that it is Lyme disease. And I was like, okay, I go to check it out, because why not? And it turned out it was very serious Lyme disease. Like, if the doctors wouldn't have figured it out like in a few months, so it would have progressed to a situation where I could not have walked at all, because Lyme disease can be very serious. And then the recovery, because it was such a late stage, because there was no sign of the tick, so I didn't know. So it was years when they figured it out. And at that stage, the recovery took 1.5 years, while I was in pain all day, just laying on my bed, getting the antibiotics in my bloodstream. And it was such a huge dose at that point that was needed for this, that I was in a terrible situation all day. But then I was thinking to myself, like, I don't want to be a burden on my parents. It was just my thinking all day, like, how could I do this? Because now I can't work, I can't do anything. And they are very kind people, of course, and I have relatives who will take care of me, but I didn't want to do that. And so from that situation, it was a mindset that was very tough. I decided to start to learn programming, because one thing I had, and it was time. I had a ton of time, actually. I had a lot of time, because I couldn't walk. I couldn't go anywhere. I was in pain. It was pretty hard to start anything with that situation, but when I pushed through and I started to learn programming, and as I said, I was really into mathematics, programming, all this stuff all my life basically, I realized I really love this, and it takes away from the pain actually to do all these things, to do something, to be active, and only my mind could be active at that moment. And so it is very strange because overall, it's hard because I wouldn't go back to that situation, to that pain, to all those complications because of the high dose of antibiotics in my bloodstream every day for many, many months for the Lyme disease. But I am thanking whoever is above us because on some level, because without that, I would never been able to learn that much and have that time, have that 1.5 years to just learn every day for 12 hours and just only do that. It was crazy. And you know, as I said, I applied to university, to go to work and stuff, and for the time I recovered, which was 1.5 years, I had my own business running, and I started to make some money, which was incredible because I never thought I will be able to start to support myself in this short time period. But of course, I did that 12 hours or more hours a day because I was in pain, so I couldn't really sleep. I did it like sometimes for 20 hours. And so that was such a huge progress in that period that I got a skill in coding that I could sell, and I registered to Fiverr, Freelancer, Upwork, and every kind of those platforms, and I actually started to make money, and I actually started to be able to support myself, and it was such a relief that I am not going to be a burden on my parents, you know. It is just the honesty of this whole situation, and I wanted to tell you that I didn't have anything but time. I didn't have crazy equipment. I had a $300 laptop. I didn't have any money to start with. I started everything with zero amount. It is possible. You need to focus, learn, practice, work hard. You really need to do those things, and also follow the trends. What are the current things that companies and the regular persons are looking for on the sites like Fiverr, Freelancer, People Per Hour, or on your own website if you are selling your services through your website. And then for the time I recovered, my first visit was to the Azores Islands, where I started to, you know, I was so happy that I could walk again, because at some point the doctor said I might be not able to walk in the same way again, like without pain. And actually I fully recovered, and I was so happy. I decided that I am going to work my ass off, and I am going to always remember this time, and that I am going to just walk through the world. Like, I am going to hike through every mountain. I am going to use my legs as much as I can after that pain for all day, every day for 1.5 years. And since then, I am doing that. I don't even know how many kilometers I have walked. And since I met my now wife, we are doing that together and traveling the world, like from the Philippines to Ecuador, the Galapagos Islands, everywhere. My first ever trip was, after I started to make money from my own business, was to the Azores Islands near Portugal, and I hiked all over the islands. I had a little bit of pain still, but I was so happy that I could even walk. And then I went to Thailand, of course, and I explored like hidden gems, not even the tourist hotspots. And if you want, I can share those great places with you. Actually, I brought my wife to that exact spot in Thailand where I really started to take my digital nomad path seriously, that exact spot. And if you want, I can share that place with you. I think none of you heard of that spot, but it is actually a great spot to be a digital nomad. And I hope this video was, I don't know, interesting for you, maybe inspirational, but I don't know about that because everybody has a different journey. I just wanted to start this channel with full transparency. I want to share my story because it is in some way a completely regular story, because I started with zero amount of money, and some way an interesting and special story because of the Lyme disease and that boost that it gave me to explore the world, to work as hard as I can. If you have any questions, just let me know. If you subscribe to the channel, it would be great. I'm going to talk about the best spots in the world to be a digital nomad, from the Philippines to South America through Europe. I am going to talk about visa possibilities and how to start a business. What are the skills that are up to date that you can start to earn with earlier than with other skills, and all these type of stuff. And I really hope that you are going to find valuable information on this channel, because I am planning to provide a lot of information. Safe travels!